A B-52 bomber breaks apart at 31,000 feet over North Carolina. Inside its belly, 2 hydrogen bombs tumble toward farmland. Each one carries a blast yield 260 times stronger than Hiroshima. What happens when the safety of millions depends on a single switch inside a falling weapon? On January 24, 1961, a Strategic Air Command bomber suffered catastrophic structural failure during a routine Cold War patrol mission over Goldsboro, North Carolina. The aircraft carried 2 Mark 39 thermonuclear bombs, each with a yield of approximately 3.8 megatons. When the plane disintegrated, both weapons fell to Earth. This incident remains one of the closest calls in American nuclear history. It exposed how thin the margin of error was during an era when dozens of nuclear-armed bombers circled U.S. airspace every single day. The night began as routine. A B-52G Stratofortress took off from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, carrying a crew of 8 and 2 Mark 39 hydrogen bombs as part of Operation Chrome Dome. The bomber's mission was to fly a predetermined route along the eastern seaboard, staying airborne for 24 hours. Around midnight, the crew initiated a routine aerial refueling with a KC-135 tanker aircraft over the Atlantic. During the operation, a fuel leak developed in the B-52's right wing. The leak was severe. Fuel streamed from the wing, and the crew aborted the refueling. They turned back towards Seymour Johnson, requesting an emergency landing. The situation deteriorated rapidly. The leaking fuel caused the bomber to become tail-heavy and increasingly difficult to control. At 2:30 a.m., as the aircraft passed over Goldsboro at about 10,000 feet, the pilot ordered the crew to bail out. 5 crew members successfully ejected. 3 did not survive. As the crew abandoned the aircraft, the B-52 entered an uncontrolled spin. The centrifugal forces were so extreme that the plane's fuselage tore apart in midair. The tail section separated first, then the wings ripped away, and with them went the 2 thermonuclear bombs, tumbling toward the tobacco fields and swampland below. One bomb's parachute deployed automatically as designed. It drifted down relatively intact and landed in a tree near the small community of Fayro, North Carolina. Military recovery teams arrived within hours and secured it without incident. The weapon had armed itself during the fall. Multiple safety interlocks had switched to the armed position. The second bomb was not so cooperative. Its parachute failed to deploy. The weapon hit the ground at hundreds of miles per hour, breaking apart on impact in a muddy field. Part of the weapon buried itself so deep that recovery teams never retrieved it. After digging down more than 50 feet through waterlogged soil, the Air Force gave up and purchased an easement on the land. The most critical piece of evidence emerged decades later. In 2013, the Department of Defense declassified a 1961 report written by Parker F. Jones, a supervisor in the Atomic Energy Commission. Jones examined the recovered weapon that had landed in the tree. His conclusion was stark. Jones wrote that the bomb had gone through all but one of its arming steps. 3 of the 4 safety mechanisms had failed or switched to armed during the aircraft's breakup and fall. Only a single low-voltage switch prevented detonation. Jones stated the switch was of relatively flimsy construction, not much more than an electric toggle switch. The yield of the weapon was staggering by comparison. A 3.8 megaton blast would have created a fireball more than a mile wide. Thermal radiation would have caused third-degree burns up to 7 miles away. The fallout plume, depending on wind direction, could have spread across Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, or New York City. The immediate human cost was the loss of 3 crew members who died in the crash. The community of Goldsboro, a small agricultural town, woke up that morning to find military personnel swarming the countryside. Local residents who owned the land where the bombs fell experienced their property being cordoned off and excavated. The easement the government placed on the land still exists today, a quiet legal monument to the incident. During the Cold War, the United States kept up to 12 B-52 bombers in the air at all times, each carrying multiple nuclear weapons. These missions involved thousands of flight hours over American territory every year. Each flight carried the same risks as the Goldsboro incident. The incident forced changes in nuclear weapons design and handling procedures. The Goldsboro incident is a reminder that the most dangerous moments in nuclear history weren't always the intentional confrontations. Sometimes they were accidents, mechanical failures, and single switches holding back unimaginable consequences. This is the story of how close we came. Follow for more true story. Like and subscribe Prime Vault Stories, and click the bell icon.